Hello and welcome to another YouTube unboxing video for Chimps Comics and Video Games in Warsaw, Indiana. We're cracking open our third box of Modern Horizon. We're going to do a total of 4 of these. So let's see what we can get inside this box. Maybe this one will be pretty exciting. We've had some neat box openings so far on here, with lots more to come. We are figuring out how to get the clarity of these videos better in the long run. We did figure out a way today, but we have a lot of these already recorded, so bear with us. Eventually you'll start seeing some much clearer pictures. Alright, so first pack, we got the Serra art card. That's pretty neat. The art cards are pretty neat. Pack 1, we've got Winds of Abandon. White and 1 sorcery, exile target creature you don't control. For each creature exiled this way, its controller searches their library for a basic land. Those player put those cards onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle their libraries. You can overload it too, so you can get way more than just one. So it's a path to exile that you can blow up. At least that's the way I see it. Ooh, pack 2 got a mythic. We got the Sword of Sinew and Steel. Artifact equipment for 3. Equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has protection from black and red. Whenever equipped creature deals combat damage to a player, destroy up to 1 target planeswalker and up to 1 target artifact equipped for 2. Pack 3, Merit Lage's Slumber. Oh, we can bring back the Merit Lage tokens. The 2020s that are just going to stomp over us. That's what we needed. More ways to bring those back. Thanks, Watsy. Don't like playing against those. That's a nice looking foil. Twisted reflection there. That one pops pretty well. Pack 3, we've got Genesis. Not to be confused with the band Genesis. Another reprint from a previous Magic set. Alright. So we got in this pack, got an Ayula, Queen Among Bears. Whenever another bear enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target bear. Target bear you control fights target creature you don't control. Bears are going to get huge. All right, we got a Lightning Skelemental in the next pack. Good old ball lightning, only with a 2 red and a black. Trample haste, deals combat damage to a player. That player discards 2 cards, so it's got a nice little added bonus as well. I like that card. Good old ball lightning with a little extra kick. Alright, we got a Collector Oofy. However, I still haven't figured out how I want to say that. A green and 1, 2/2, activate that. I can't even talk tonight, excuse me. Activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated. Kind of like what Karn's been doing. Tectonic Reformation. A red and 1 enchantment. Enchant each land in your hand has cycling red. You can cycle this for 2. Bringing back the cycling into Modern. Pack 9, Maraudon Besieged. Choose Mirren or Phyrexian when it comes into play. Just like you did with the pre-release when you had to choose Mirren or Phyrexian and you got packs exclusive to Mirren or Phyrexian. That was a really neat pre-release when we did that. For those of you who were around back then. Mist Syndicate Naga. A blue and 2, 3/1 ninja. When it deals combat damage to a player, create a token that's a copy of it. Ninjas making their return. Got an Altar of Dementia from the good old days of Tempest. The Wrath Cycle. Sack a creature. Target player puts a number of cards equal to the sacked creature's power from the top of their library into their graveyard. Nice thing is you could do that to yourself if you're trying to just mill yourself. Pack 12, we've got a Scrapyard Recombiner. That's a third of the way through the box Ladies and gentlemen, we are closing in, moving along. Alright, pack 13, we've got a Reap the Past. A red, a green, and an X. Return X cards at random from your graveyard to your hand, and then exile Reap the Past. So you can't get this card back, but it's a good way to refill your hand. If you got the mana floating around and you want some cards back, throw it in. Pack 14, the Broken Hogaak. I like to call him that because look up the deck. It's insane. Remember when I first pulled him, I didn't understand what people were seeing in him, but within a few days, the deck started showing up online, and okay, that card's crazy. At least the deck's with it. Alright, we've got an Eladamri's Call, a nice reprint from the good old Plane Shift days. Search your library for a creature card, reveal that card, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. The Invasion block was one of my favorite blocks back when I played regularly. Lots of good cards I loved in that. Lord of the Undead, Phyrexian Scuda. I was a heavy black player at that point. Coincidentally enough, speaking of black, here's a foil Nether Spirit and a Force of Despair. I don't think I could have planned that. Trust me, I did not plan that. Nether Spirit, 2 red and 1, 2/2 at the beginning of your upkeep. If it's the only creature card in your graveyard, you may return it to the battlefield. Force of Despair, 2 black and 1. Did I say 2 red on Nether? 2 black is what I meant. Well, too late. Fallen Shinobi. He snuck in like a ninja. Alright, whenever he deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Until end of turn, you may play those cards without paying their mana costs. It's a 5/4. You definitely want to sneak him in like a ninja with that casting cost. Alright, next pack we got a Waterlogged Grove, one of the new Horizon style lands. Green and blue. You can pay a life for a green and blue, or blue. Pay 1 mana. Tap, sack, draw a card. Next we got an Unbound Flourishing. Green and 2, whenever you cast a permanent spell with a mana cost that contains X, double the value of X. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, or activate an ability, if its activation cost contains X, copy that spell or ability. You may choose new targets for that copy. It's a nice card. If you play the good old Rock Hydra and throw that out there, I think it'd be insanely huge. By the way, for those of you who don't know, Rock Hydra, look it up, revised. You'll see what I mean by that, because I'm old school on Magic cards. Unsettled Mariner was our next rare, or Mariner. Then we've got a Deep Forest Hermit, the new Deranged Hermit. Vanishing of 3. When Deep Forest Hermit enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green squirrel creature tokens. Squirrels you control get +1/+1, so it's a Lord of the Squirrels. It's the Day of the Squirrels. Foil Crypt Rats, that was a fun old card. Along with a Dead of Winter. All non-snow creatures get -X, -X until end of turn, where X is the number of snow permanents you control. Moving into pack 23 now. We're at about 2/3 of the way through the box, and we've got a Hall of Heliod's Generosity. A good way to recycle your enchantment cards. We've pulled a few of these so far in the video, so I won't go too deep into it, but if you're dealing with enchantment destruction, which is definitely typically not in the meta unless you're dealing against Blood Moon, it's a good way to bring your enchantments back. Next pack, we've got a Nurturing Peatland, another one of the Horizon lands, black and green version. Pay a life, get a black or a green, pay 1 colorless, sack it, draw a card. Pack 25, we've got Kess Dissident Mage, previously in a commander only, and then they reprinted her here. Lets you recycle your instant and sorcery cards. Alright, Nimble Mongoose foil. That's pretty nice looking. And that looks like a Cabal Therapist. Good old Cabal Therapy on a creature. Menace, black, 1/1. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may sack a creature. When you do, choose a non-land card name. Then target player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name. I think that could be fun along the lines of Thoughtseize. Play with a Thoughtseize and you know exactly what to name. On Thin Ice is our next rare. Enchant Snowland you control. When On Thin Ice enters the battlefield, exile target creature an opponent controls until On Thin Ice leaves the battlefield. It's a good way to get rid of some creatures. And there we go. There's a good mythic. We got the first Sliver, making slivers insane yet again, like the Sliver Queen, Sliver Hive Lord, Sliver Legion. Oh god, I hate slivers. If you played back in the day of the Sliver Queen, you totally understand what I mean by that. Modern slivers are not as insane. Oh, there's another sliver. Awesome. Spiteful Sliver. Oh, so many slivers. Slivers are coming back. Slivers stomping over people. I'm going to start seeing Commander Sliver decks left and right, too. There's enough of them out there now. Huh. Anyways, pack 30. Let's move past the slivers. We got a Future Sight. Hopefully that's not a sign of things to come with slivers. Alright, so 3 blue and 2. Enchantment. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play the top card of your library. It'd be nice if it said that you could also cycle it down to the, or, you know, put it on the bottom of your deck, kind of like a Serum Visions. We got a Crashing Footfalls in pack 31. Good way to get a couple of big green creatures. Throw it out in your first turn, wait a few turns, and boom, you got some big green creatures on top of whatever you've already built up for your green deck. Green ramp is insane from time to time. Nice Lightning Skelemental art card. And a Prismatic Vista. Very good fetch land for a basic land. I think those are going to have long-term play value. Use your normal fetches to get your duels, your shocks, or whatever, and use the Prismatic Vistas to get out the other ones, weed out your deck, and get down to just the core cards so you're not drawing lands except for when you choose to find them. Alright, pack 33, we got a Force of Vigor. And play it on your opponent's turn. Exile on a green card, destroy up to 2 target artifacts and or enchantments. And in pack 34, we've got an Area of Flame. There's the battlefield. Each opponent gains 10 life. When you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a verse counter on it. Then it deals damage equal to the number of verse counters on it to target player or planeswalker. So it's not just against your opponent. Alright, pack 35, we've got a Force of Rage. A good way to get a couple of quick ball lightnings at half size. So we're winding into the last pack. Thank you again for watching our videos. We do greatly appreciate it. We hope that you like and subscribe and follow us and share it with your friends so that we can continue to grow. And we've got a Bizarre Trade Mage. Thanks again for watching. We appreciate it a lot.